What retirees really do, retirement activities, real life retirement activities. That's what we're going to talk about today. I got a comment that really was interesting. Her name was Mary Metal 8665. She says, just retired myself at 62. I'd love to hear about activities with others, activities that I will enjoy, activities that are good for me in my new day-to-day retirement. What a great question, great question. So today I'm going to cover some real-life retirement experiences. I'm going to give an example of 10 people that I know personally and what they do in retirement. So that's going to be very interesting. Before that, I'm going to cover retirement categories. I put retirement activities in categories, and I'm going to define those categories and give some examples of each one. So if you're looking for something to do in retirement, you may find something here. So let's get started. Opening thoughts on activities. Keep an open mind. Don't think, I wouldn't like that. I've seen too many people say, I wouldn't like that. No, I don't think I want to do that. Give it a try. Try it not one time, but 3 times. If you ever met a person and you thought you didn't like them right off the bat, and then later they turned out to be a very good friend of yours, I have several times. And so try not to judge before you try it 3 times. The goal is to try things, different things, and find something that you like and is well suited to you. Don't go it alone. The hardest part when you retire is to start finding retirement activities to fill your time. And there's institutions set up to help you do that. It's a terrible name, Senior Center, but they are a wealth of information about activities. You can go and have people to do things with right off the bat. Besides senior centers, there's recreation centers. Every little small town has got either a senior center or a recreation center. There's libraries. 55 plus communities is a minefield of activities. Clubs, different clubs and groups. There's a lot of places you can look for activities. One category of activities you do not want to skip over, and that one would be the one we're going to start with, and that is activities to keep you healthy and fit. Staying fit and healthy is a big part of the retiree's routine, or it should be. Whatever activities you like to do, work in at least one of these activities that will keep you healthy. Walking is one of the best activities. That's my favorite activity. I started that when I retired. I'm still doing it 20 years later, 20 years later. Walking. Everybody can do it. There's no special equipment, even though it's good to invest in some good quality shoes. And that's just something that overall they say that's very good for your health, walking. I live in an active adult community, and I think walking is probably the number one health activity here. Number 2 is gym, exercising at the gym. That is such a wonderful resource for exercises. You got the treadmills, you got your recumbent bikes, and those 2 right there are very, very popular. And you got your free weights and you got your exercise machines. And those are very handy, especially for strength training. So I do my walking Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I go to the gym Tuesday and Saturday. Okay? That leaves Thursday and Sunday open. A gym is open to just about everybody. I have a gym at my clubhouse. If you're on Medicare, you probably have silver sneakers, or what do they call it? Silver and Fit. And that includes the membership to a gym. A recreation center we'll take those also for yoga classes and other classes. So if you did walking and the gym, that's my decision to do that. That pretty well takes care of my health exercises. It covers cardio with the walking, and it covers strength training with the gym. The next thing I notice is swimming pool. We have an indoor swimming pool at our clubhouse, and there's a number of really dedicated people that swim. Sometimes they have mobility problems, and they just love the swimming pool. On a more fun side, I guess, is the water volleyball. They hardly have any openings for those teams. They stay so full. And water aerobics, especially the ladies and some men, they have a really good time doing that. And they do that early in the morning, all year long. So, walking, gym, swimming pool, what else? Biking. Biking is very popular. I have a bike club here. I see a lot of people biking. I know if you've ever been to Florida for a week or 2, you see plenty of bikes down there. And people love biking. And I've got a friend who is now 81 or 82, and he biked until about last year. And guess what? He bought him an electric bike. And there's an electric bike club here too. They have like 12 members of the electric bike club. They all park together up there at Recreation Drive. It's a sight to see. And they have a good time with that. I don't know if that's exercise or just fun. I don't know that much about it. But biking is a form of exercise, a very good form of exercise. Okay, other things is yoga, tai chi, cardio class. I took the Lisa's cardio sculpturing class for 2 years. Yoga, my friend Jack loves yoga. He wouldn't miss Saturday morning for anything for his yoga class. So that's a good selection. If you're looking for activities that will keep you healthy and fit, I just named a bunch of them. And those are the most popular ones I see people doing here at an active adult community. Within the same category related is games. There's all kind of games. Of course, you got tennis, you got pickleball, you got bocce, you got softball, you got croquet, all kind of games like that. And with the games, you get 2 for 1. You get the cardio, the exercise, and you get socialization with people. You get really good friends. I played pickleball. It's very, very popular, as you probably know. I played that for over 2 years. I went to the championship one year. And we became such good friends with the people who played pickleball. Between games, you rotate in and out, and you sit there and talk, and you really get to know people. I follow Dr. Peter Attia, and he says pickleball is one of the best cross-training exercises there is. Pros and cons about pickleball. A pro is you have great friends, you have great exercise. A con, 2 cons, you could get hurt. So be careful. Number 2, that's about the only thing you can do cardio-wise. The people that play pickleball, I've found that's their main exercise. That's it. And that's good enough. Take the class. We took a class. All of us in our class stayed together and we played. And we kept playing. And that was good because we were on the same skill level. You remember you played games as a kid and you quit playing? And now that you are a kid again and retired, you can play games again. Games are fun. Games, it's more than exercise. It's more than socialization. It's strategy. It's trying to win. It's friendly competition. You learn so many lessons when you play sports. You're going to love playing some of these games again. They're just fun, and you thought you'd never feel this way again, and you do. So give it a try. Play some games. Let's move on. Creative hobbies and lifelong learning. Well, there's all kind of things people do to explore new hobbies and rekindle old hobbies. My buddy Cliff and I should say, went to the American Numismatic Society's Money World show, and we had the best time. All these dealers and all these displays, and guess what? Most of the people there were retirement age. The dealers were retirement age. I don't think young people collect anything anymore. As far as collecting things, people love to collect things. I got one friend who collects movie posters, and he gives lectures at the clubhouse about that. And those are really fascinating. Another friend who collects Uncle Sam posters, for savings bonds and things like that during World War II. I got another friend right down the street that has a model train set up display in his basement. Creative hobbies also includes art. How many celebrities have you heard of that retired and started doing art? Quite a few. And real people do that too. Our clubhouse has an arts and crafts room, and it's full of paintings. We have a vendors and arts fair twice a year, and some of them display their wares there, also sell them. And crafts, especially like at Christmas, wow, amazing. All kind of crafts people make. Creative hobbies, arts and crafts, it's unlimited. You could try anything. There's tons of things. All of that is fun, and it just brings out your creative side. The next category is mental stimulation and volunteering. Books are very, very big. My wife reads so many books. Amazing. Even myself, I had cataract surgery like 3 years ago, and I was a slow reader. My wife can read a book just like that. It takes me forever. But I signed up for Audible, and I think I've read about 450 books, or listened to them, I should say, since then. And so Audible is something to think about. and as well as reading books. Brain games. If you played Wordle, Wordle, New York Times, get on the internet and search for Wordle, and you'll find that's really an addictive game, but it's fun. Connections. Connections is another game. Search for those two, Wordle and Connections. Volunteering is under that category. Volunteering. My wife volunteered, I think, for 10 years at the hospital when we retired. I bet you anything, there's probably a medical or hospital nearby, and they're looking for volunteers. Well, you have all kind of volunteering opportunities. You got political, you got social issues, you got community theaters, you have museums. Even at our 5K races we do, they have seniors along the way giving out water bottles and giving directions. I was going to make a comment about volunteering, that the higher up you get in the organization, the more like work it is, but I won't do that. I won't do that. Here in our community volunteers. If you volunteer, you will meet people. That's another benefit. Social life and fun. Here we go. Got the good part. You have in-home entertainment. You know, you're at home. You could invite your friends over for an afternoon game of cards at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can go travel with friends. Taking a cruise with the kids and grandkids is huge. Okay, let me talk about lunch in retirement. Lunch in retirement is special. You can go to lunch in off hours. You can go like 1:15 or 1:30. Lunch is less crowded. It's less noise. It's less wait time. And it is really less expensive, and you get the same menu. Okay, one of the last sections we'll get into is retirement travel. Huge. Everybody dreams of retiring and traveling. And that's the thing. It really is. Cruises is number one. My wife and I have taken, not all since we retired, but it was starting about 10 years before we actually retired. We've taken like 50 cruises. So we started Holland America. We went to Princess, went to Celebrity. We just took Viking to Iceland last September, came back in December and did another cruise. Cruises are great. They're a good value, have good entertainment, good food. You could talk to people, and they are way less expensive than VRBO. Where else can you travel? Well, you could national parks. People love to see national parks. If you've never been to Yellowstone, you need to go there. If you've never been to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, you need to go there. If you've never been to Glacier National Park in Wyoming, you need to go there. There's so many places to see in this country. You need to get out there and take a look at it. Everybody should go to these national parks. All the travel is not big bucket list, expensive travel. Sometimes you can explore your own city, and there's all kind of things to see. I live in Atlanta, and when I retired, I remember beautiful fall day, and I said, let's go see. I've never been to the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. I've never seen that, and I've never been to the Jimmy Carter Library. Never been. So I took off, had the best time. I went down and went to MLK Jr., saw the church, saw the museum they have there, walked the grounds, had lunch at 6 Foot Under, which is a restaurant nearby, and then went to Jimmy Carter Library, Presidential Library, and saw the Oval Office, all that stuff, and it was quite fascinating. And I've done the Atlanta History Center. I've been to the aquarium. A lot of things to see locally. When you live in a city, you don't take the time to see your own attractions sometimes. So retirement is a good time to travel locally. And day trips are a wonderful thing. There's so many day trips you can take and be back the same day. A lot to see that doesn't cost a lot of money. So that was retirement activities by category with examples. Now let me jump to real life people snapshots. I'm just going to say Rick, he helps his son with landscaping. He moved here from New York, down to Atlanta in the metro area here. And he helps his son. He's got a landscaping business. So in the springtime, he gets real busy, and Rick goes over and helps him out. And that's a trend. I think a lot of people help their relatives with a business. That's a thing. He goes to the gym. He plays bocce. I met him on the day trip to the casino. Rick and I sat on the same seat, and I met him. It was really a fun trip. And he loves to travel. Sally, she's a championship bridge player. She plays not only locally, she goes regionally. She goes to Hilton Head and Asheville and And then she goes nationally. Went to Canada this last year for National Bridge Championship. She loves puzzles. She does the walking group as well. She does something interesting. Every day she calls her relatives. They get on they call each other on a conference call and touches base, I think, with her sisters and her children. And that's really unique, spending time with relatives. Dave's got a vacation home in Florida he likes to go to. He does cruises, he does bocce, he does the walking group. So you see, it's kind of a combination. You do something fun, you do some exercises, which are fun too. You do some games, you mix it up. Robert, that's me. I do the walking group. I do gym, like I already told you. I collect award medals from the expositions and World's Fairs of the 19th century. I started that in 2006 or 7 when I started retiring, and I've kept it going. I did a website, expositionmedals.com, to list my collection on there. Check it out. Okay, we got Jack. He does the walking. He does gym. This guy's really healthy. He does chin-ups in his home gym. Who can do chin-ups when you're in the 70s? He does chin-ups. Oh, he jumps rope. He gave me a jump rope. I can't jump rope. He gave me a jump rope. He can jump rope. He can do chin-ups. How about that? He does yoga class. And his fun thing, his big project is hiking the national parks out west. So he's got a younger friend. They get together and go out to the national parks out west and have a really good time. So a lot of these hobbies are more than just a hobby. They include travel as well. Brenda does swimming at the indoor pool Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. She's a good swimmer. That's her physical activity, no doubt about it. She plays lots of card games. She spends time with the grandkids. Okay, we listed a bunch of retirement activities here today in just about every category. Retirement activities are about finding joy and connection. It's not about making a big list of activities. In fact, most people try a lot of things to begin with when they retire, and then they narrow it down to about 2 or 3. You don't need many. I hope you find some retirement activities to do with others that you like and that are healthy and good for you. Okay, if you're retired, what kind of activities do you do? And if you're planning on retiring soon, what are you looking forward to doing? What types of activities? If you'll let us know in the comments below. Thanks for all the new subscribers. I appreciate it. Please subscribe and like this video. Thanks very much. See you next time.